Hi, my name is Kendra, and I'd like to tell you about the time I let my dad put his meat on my forehead. I know it sounds really crazy, but hear me out. When he first suggested it, it sounded weird, but that was only because I didn't know how much it would help me. It also felt really good. Let me tell you about how this whole thing happened. To understand it, you need to know a bit more about myself. I am my parents' third child, but my two older siblings are boys. That meant I was the only girl in the family. My dad was very protective and caring, especially when it came to his little girl. He was really sweet and would always try to spend time with me. He was the one who made me love sports from an early age. But before we move on, hit that like button and subscribe. This will let you live 10 amazing years longer. Trust me, it works. Anyway, thanks to my dad, I decided to try out for the local soccer team, and I trained really hard after getting in. I got good at it, and eventually they made me their captain. That was really awesome, I can tell you that. Mom and Dad were really proud of me, and they bought me a brand new soccer ball to practice with at home. I don't like to brag, but my coach says I'm one of the best players on the team, if not the best. I'm so happy he thinks that, and I love to be able to play professionally one day. My teammates always call me nicknames like the female Cristiano Ronaldo, and it's so cool. I try not to let it get to my head. Honestly, I think it's important to always keep training and trying your best no matter how good you are. Take Messi, for example. He's the best soccer player in the entire world, but he still trains every single day and his head is always in the game. I really look up to him. People believe I'll definitely go on to make millions of dollars just like all those amazing players when I go pro. I mean, I don't know if that'll end up happening because girl and boy soccers work really differently, but I love to hear it, and it gives me hope that I can really make a good living doing what I love. Imagine how cool it would be. I'm a kid now, but eventually I'll grow up and have to get myself a job. I love it if I could be a professional player and go on the field to train every day instead of spending my time in a boring office job. I even won a few regional finals with my team. Some folks recorded my goals and then uploaded them online. Apparently, those were really cool plays because I ended up becoming social media famous after that. It was really cool, and I even got to sign a few autographs. Anyways, my dad showed up to every single one of my games. I mean it when I say that he never, ever missed a single one. He promised he never would either. Dad always told me that he was my biggest fan, and I loved it. I think he was my good luck charm, and whenever he was around, I felt like I simply couldn't lose. I asked him if he'd still come when I began playing professionally, and he swore he'd always be there. Now, the problem is that my dad's not a superhero. I know every kid likes to think their parents are super special, but they're humans just like the rest of us. So when he began feeling really sick a few hours before one of my games, I told him he'd better stay at home. He wanted to come anyways, but I insisted it was okay. I told him that, but in reality, I felt awful about him not coming with us. Mom was there, and of course I love her so much, but it wasn't the same. I felt like there was no way the game could go right without Dad there. My gut told me there would be problems ahead, and that's exactly what happened. Just 7 minutes into the game, I was going for the ball. Imagine this. I was running as fast as I could. One of my players kicked the soccer ball into the air, and a member of the rival team tried to kick it away. I couldn't let that opportunity of a great goal go to waste, so I rushed forward, deciding to go for it. The problem was I wouldn't be able to jump in time to get it, so I had to go at it with my head. Oh, that was a really bad mistake, I can tell you that. Why, you might ask? Because the rival also had the same idea. We both collided headfirst and fell on the ground. I did manage to make a goal, but I didn't really care about it right then. I felt super dizzy, and then everything went black. When I came back to my senses, everyone was surrounding us. The girl I'd bumped heads against was sitting up and seemed to be doing okay, but looked really concerned. They all asked me if I was okay. The other girl had a big bruise and a knot in her head. I touched my head and felt the biggest knot on the side, too. Ugh. It was extremely gross. I was lucky I wasn't bleeding, but it wasn't good either. A few of the adults around me asked if I wanted to go to the hospital, and my mom was soon by my side. I declined, saying that all I needed was my dad. He would make it all okay. Mom said it was okay, and she drove me home, while I sobbed miserably. My head really hurt as we rushed home. When we arrived, my dad looked at me and almost fainted. He couldn't believe his baby girl was hurt. He took a look at my head and told me he knew exactly what to do to help me feel better. So he scurried off into the kitchen and grabbed a cold pack of meat and placed it on my head. That helped the swelling and pain tremendously. I knew my dad would know what to do. I was Daddy's little girl after all. And that's how Dad put his meat on my forehead and made everything better. Isn't he awesome? Thanks for watching. Has your dad ever helped you when you were dealing with a problem? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and check other videos on the channel.